Don't say that. Hey, good to see you this morning.
You too, man.
I see your breakfast come in.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny. So we got there, but we were supposed to get like late, but I was leaving some drive. So they get all the
Hey,
way
where
up to the
did
tarmac,
Doc go?
and he starts.
I don't know where Doc went. He wants to get tissues out.
Oh, someone let him out the door.
Doc likes a mic. We need some Doc.
Where is Doc? Where is Doc? Doc?
Where's Doc?
Where's Doc?
But don't give it to him.
You have to do like this so you can pull it back.
Is this, yeah, I guess that's the question. Is this PG-13 or R?
Oh, it's R.
Okay, this is R.
Straight out.
All right.
We're just talking about 2022. Favorite parts, least favorite parts. That's
Double Bob and Robin Roberts and making him pissed off.
Oh.
Well, that did happen.
Look at his wife.
So that's where we're going to
Well,
start.
I mean, yeah.
Let's start with the shit right now.
Is you saying, what happened? You know.
Why are you so mad, Robin?
Why are you, what happened?
I thought if you approach the situation with kindness, it would be.
You know that doesn't
Melody,
work
you
in
should
this
come up and
event.
talk about that. Of all the topics, this is where we start, guys.
Yeah. We got to come up with something on Scott.
So, yeah, what? Scott's just too nice.
No, he's not. He got mad at me.
Oh, you did?
I didn't get mad.
What?
I didn't like losing, but I didn't get mad. I mean, who likes losing, right?
That's the part I think that's highly misunderstood by people who watch the show, right? We're mad when we get beat. Like, that's just how it is. Who's happy about losing?
You know, when you normally race, you get 15, 20 minutes to cool down.
Yeah.
What we do, nobody gets to, they see us while we're cooling down.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They see us in the heat of the moment when we're all excited, right? That'd be the nice way to put it. Mad, happy, whichever one it is.
Excited is a
Yeah,
very nice word.
excited.
I think you thought about that one.
I have.
Guess it depends on what round we go out to, though. You call first round, you're mad.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, first round.
Out of all of us, I don't think Jerry, he doesn't think about his words before he says them. You're going to know what Jerry Bird is thinking.
No, when I'm thinking, I'll tell you.
Facts.
And I'm like, why I said that? You know,
If it comes to the heart, it comes out the mouth.
it's real.
Yeah.
You know?
Makes good TV, at least.
Yeah. That's what we like about you. That's what we don't like about you, too.
Well, it depends on the willing to stick you on.
Me too. Used
Right,
to, I blew
right.
my belt. Used to.
I voice my opinion, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's a good thing. And, you know, I'm going to be heard. And I guess if you heard, just sing.
Yeah. You got to get a little closer once you down there.
Can't hear me. Can't hear you, Jerry.
Hey, hello.
Yeah, but no, you make a great point. That first round, that's the worst loss you can take in a race is the first round. Like, you want to be really mad about it. First round.
That's the one that worries me the most, because if you can get by first round and you can start going rounds and kind of, you know, getting by people, but
Yeah.
just to get by that first round was the toughest one, man.
Well, you feel like you've towed all that way. You've done all the work to get ready for the race. Your team's there. Everything's going, and then
You know, you're adding up points, like, man, if I can get by this round, I have this guys ahead of me, and you trying to strategize and get to this, and it's hard, man. It's a tough deal.
But for us, the grade 8, when I finally got into it, I liked that because a lot of, had some time on the track before that first round.
Yeah, the grade 8 was, I mean, it was brutal. I mean, you take the 8 top points guys and throw them in there every single round. You didn't know who was going to win or lose each round. You could.
You don't want to draw any of them.
It was a coin
You don't want to
flip
draw any
every
of them.
single round. I mean,
I mean, you look around, you're like, wow, I don't want him. I don't want him. Oh, man, I don't want him.
that's nobody you want in the
Yeah,
first round of the main event. So
But it gave you some good data for the next day. So that was one good thing about it, I felt.
you could definitely size up your opponent because, I mean, everybody's throwing everything they had it on Friday night. And then so Saturday, you knew how fast they was because you just raced them on Friday night.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of where the guessing comes in, too, though. You look around, you're like, boy, if I don't get out on him, I'm going to lose. So you got to kind of guess on him.
There was a few red lights this year, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to go there, huh?
I hit it more than I red lighted, though. That was pretty good. I had a good
I started on Robin's
percentage.
comments. Here comes the red light.
Here comes the red light joke. Here we go.
Look, I let go of that button, and I look out the corner of my eye and see red, and I'm like, oh, Daryl's going to be mad.
And he was, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I seen it. He was bad.
Oh no, nothing to make you as a driver feel worse either because
Well,
that's all you.
That's what I told him. I said, you ain't got to tell me nothing, because I feel like shit.
I already started kicking my own ass.
Yeah. I'm mad at myself for doing it, but, I mean, if you ain't red light, you ain't trying. You know, this is a tough deal. Like I said, everybody's fast, man. I mean, you look around, it's scary, like, man. and you pick that, you're like, man, I didn't want him. But then you look around, I didn't want him either.
What's his fastest year?
Yeah, Doc was really good. Well, you talk about that grade 8 and how hard that was to come up. But I remember when we first started season 2, and we were in this bucket at first. We were someone you didn't mind drawing first round because we were still learning and growing, right? But now, all 32 cars, the gap is so much narrower than it used to be. It used to be,
Yeah.
number 1 and
I
number
mean,
32 was quite a gap.
Look at John, boy, I couldn't wait to pick him because he had that stock GTR.
Yeah, when you had the stock
And
looking.
the next year, you're like, whoa, we got a different GTR.
Yeah.
But even if you watch the show, I mean, from, you know, people drawing me in the first round, the first couple, you know, and then by the end, they were like, yes, I don't want to draw that car.
Robin,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the correct term is the ducks got smaller.
the ducks got smaller.
What did somebody say mid-season? Ain't no ducks in this pond.
If you look around trying to find the duck, you can't find them.
You're the duck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you can't find the duck, look around and shoot.
The competition went from season 1 to here.
Yeah.
The
No, you're
ducks-
right.
The ducks just got smaller.
I'm gonna say for the whole field, less than a tenth and a half separates the whole field.
Yeah, I
I
agree
think
with you
you're
there.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, a tenth and a half, and that may be a little more than what separates the field. But I'm talking 32 to number 1, a tenth and a half.
That's right.
That's kind of what I like about the light deal. It ain't a pro tree. I mean, you can kind of go after the tree and make up that difference. That's what makes it exciting. That you don't have to be the faster car. You can just get them on the tree, and then you still got a chance to win. So,
What's your thoughts on guessing a tree?
Yeah,
Robert?
right down. Jerry Bird said that, not Robin.
hey, look, it ain't. If you don't red light, it ain't a guess. You know.
I remember that one after the race we had.
There's Chuck when we talk about red lights.
Someone just told me let go.
Yeah.
I know. I made deals with cars before, and I still guessed. I don't know what. Someone just said go.
Yeah, I felt like that for a couple races. It just, I don't know why I let the button go, right?
No,
Jim would just scream at me. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why I did it, you know? I worked through it. It took me a couple races, but
That's
mentally,
true.
I don't know why.
But that's true of something where you don't know what it's like till you're sitting in that seat.
You know.
The engine's at full blast. You're waiting on the tree. You've been anticipating the race. Everything's amped up at its full load. Sometimes it's just time to go.
Sometimes it feels like forever, and I know it's
Right,
not.
exactly.
Yeah,
I don't know
you
why,
look at
but
the video
it
and
just
it's like,
feels
man,
like
that was
it's
2.5
forever.
seconds, and then, but in your brain, it was like,
All day.
yeah, you just forever.
All day.
Well, with the tree being random, sometimes you're ready to let go of that button. They have to keep it random so that people can't guess every time.
right.
That's where it makes it difficult. When you're squeezing that button, you got 3,000 horsepower ready to read, and you're like, oh, let's go.
You're trying to hold it, but you don't want to hold it.
That's
You're
right.
ready to go.
And pull the old cocktail. I can't hold it no more.
That's awesome.
Look, I let
Jerry
go.
don't
I'm
like
like,
to hold.
I hit it perfect. I look out the corner of my eye and see that green. I got him.
Yes. Yeah.
if you ever hit it perfect, it is over. Ain't nobody running you down.
That's exactly right.
Have you ever had a
It's
perfect
true, though,
round?
man. I
That
mean, you
know
get
well
2-3
you're
tenths just off of the tree, and that's a big difference in this deal.
Yeah.
Well, if you think the field's separated by a tenth and a half,
Right.
the most, then the best and the worst, yeah, or the slowest.
So you grab 3 tenths on a guess, it's over with.
So you really can. I mean, it's just on how you hit it, man. And
Well, it's not a guess. What's it called, Doc?
Anticipation.
Anticipation. Okay. He said he never guesses.
Jerry Bird's a great
I've seen him leave
anticipator.
many times before the green, but he said he never guesses.
how you saying? I didn't guess. I left when I wanted to.
The thumb had to go. So the biggest difference in the field from season 1 to now is in season 1, the slower, heavy guys like my car, I had to. But the gap was so big between a front runner like Ryan and me that he could still run me down. Now that gap is so small
Right.
that if you give that guess on somebody now,
So-
anticipation, there's nobody that really can run anybody down anymore because the slower cars have sped up so much. So, right, Scott? I mean,
Oh, you're 100% right. If you get the tree, you guess, you anticipate, whatever you want to call it. If you let go before green and it doesn't turn you red, there's nobody in the field that can run you down anymore. It's just not going to happen.
Where used to, you would win maybe 10-15% of guessing. Most of the time you got outran at that last 15 feet, and it's just not happening anymore.
Yep, I see both sides of the guessing anticipation. For the side of it, when you think you got the fastest hot rod and then you drive 20 hours to a track, and then another guy that has a slower car by 3 tenths, lets go of the button and guesses and then beats you, and the slower car wins. I don't know that it helps the program because that slower car just advanced into the next round. So that's one side of it. The other side of it is that guy just made a round, so he should be happy.
You kind of level the playing field and let the slower guys have a chance. So,
You know, I think that's what's good about it too, though. that
probably
this-
not to win, but to go a couple of rounds for sure.
You know, I think it was a good thing to begin with, but now that there's only a tenth and a half that separates the field, I don't see the need for the guessing anymore, but that's just my side of it.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it like, all right, so that takes, and I'll just say this, so we have our street racing stuff that we do, right? And this is kind of track related where it ought to be. And so this should be that window should be extremely narrow for it because this is track legit race of fastest car and
But you gotta
not street where you're trying to trick
I'm
somebody.
gonna-
Because it happens on
I'm gonna
street.
disagree with you on that because you got.
Well, it's my opinion, you can have yours.
This is no prep, and no prep was to get street racers on
Yeah.
the street onto the track. So
Yeah.
it still is a street race, just in a safer.
Then we ought to have flashlight start, and I'd be 100% good with that.
I have been begging for that
Yeah.
since season 1, so
Flashlight start, tire crack, all in.
I get it.
That wouldn't be bad, you know,
that'd be fun.
stage both cars, and then once the green light goes off, then you leave all the flashlights. So you still got a wind light on the big end. That's definitely a way to do it.
Kind of is. It
It's
just
kind of what it is, though. If you think about it, when the green light comes on, it's just like a flashlight. There you go.
Yeah.
Should be tire crack.
Keeps it a lot more simple for us. You don't have a flagging guy pointing the light one way or the other.
And we could argue this point for 4 days.
Yeah.
Never come up to an agreement because everybody has a different opinion.
You will have 32 different opinions.
You will.
100%.
Does anybody out there got any questions?
Which do you like better, the MPK stuff or the street stuff?
Ooh, for me, I didn't do a ton of street stuff, so that's probably a better question for Scott, but.
Ooh, I don't know. That's a tough one.
That's also going to be 32 different opinions.
Yeah.
I
My
like-
my opinion personally, I like the street stuff better.
Yeah, I like the street stuff better.
I can take John Doe and go compete with anybody in the world on the street. But here, you know, racing all the tracks, you have to have the best equipment. You got to be on your A game just to be competitive. To go one round, you got to be on your A game. The street stuff is more tuning and skills we've learned along the way. So I think it really shows who's who on the street, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that, though. Maybe the one way I would disagree with that, because I like street racing too. Like, I didn't go down a track till I was 30, well into my 30s, so we always just street race, and it's still my preference. But, you know, the difference really is if you look at that street racing model where you can't have fans, right? No one else can enjoy that experience with you. The nice thing about no prep games, we can have the stands filled. They can enjoy the experience. They can be a part of it. They can come hang out with us. You can't do that on the street. It's just that you couldn't control
It's
it.
definitely evolved into its own monster. You have to be competitive, you have to have a street car and a
Yep.
dedicated MPK car.
That's exactly right.
You can't do
Right.
the
You can't
same.
switch them back and
Street
forth.
car and a dedicated track car, because they're built different a little bit.
That ship sailed 2-3 seasons ago.
I mean, I like the street stuff because it's a tuning game, but I like the track stuff because you can get to go fast.
Y'all are missing
Yeah.
the biggest key
That's the difference.
Finances. It's so much easier to street race.
But
Yeah.
in a little bit, I'll give you the
But
finance
it still
side, right?
costs
Because
money.
we got a really good setup, and we came in and we did really well, and all that was, you know, the car and everything that I put together made me look good. But I went out to the Mega Cash Days they had a few weeks ago, right? And I missed the fans, I missed the people,
Yeah.
I missed the
That's what I'm
interaction.
saying,
Like,
like,
it was
that's the
cool
big
to
part
see
of
you
the
guys, but then after the race, you just kind of
Yeah.
stood there. So for me, I definitely like the and it's probably mostly because that's all I've done, but I did like everything that came with that more than being on the street. So for me, it wasn't.
If you come from the streets and then go to the MPK thing, then you miss the streets.
Yeah.
But if you come to the
Yeah,
MPK,
I started MPK, so when I go to the streets, I'm like, it's not something I love.
That's a great question. You got another?
Yeah. Anybody else got questions?
A whole bunch of it, I was listening to all the replies and I didn't get it.
Oh, well, go ahead. What was your?
Why like kind of had his deal, you know, the New Orleans stuff, and then 4 or 5 had their stuff, and then JJ had his stuff. Why? I guess I don't even know why. Like one, I don't want to say one was better than the other, but like why did it progress? Like those like the original 4 or 5 stuff, it isn't on anymore. Is it going to come back like the original stuff, the original New Orleans stuff with Jerry and them guys?
Oh, we hoping. I mean, we don't know that.
That's a great question for Sam.
We're the producer. That's
Look, we just drive the race cars.
we all wonder the same thing sometimes. Sir.
Well, I mean, I think those of us who came in later can look at that and say, it just progressed, right? Would you like to still be watching the same only 10 cars racing each other?
What was the
Well, at some
question?
point it becomes,
I said for the original shows when I come back, like we could have like the Nigerian guy and Scotland guys, and then 4 or 5, and then like JJ had his deal, and then like it seemed like whenever FPJ come on, everything else just left.
Well, you know, we have a unique perspective on this because as producers of a television show that's been on the air for 10 plus years, which is an anomaly, truly. We do over 200 hours of programming. We make up 45% of all Discovery original programming. 10 years ago when we started, we had 8 episodes a year, right? So as things progress, and what's this? Yeah, well, I don't remember. I was a young lad. You were. You didn't have great. You know, now I'm old. You know, we started as we were like 20 to 30. So your question is, why aren't those on there? Oh, OKC's still on there. It comes back in January. You know, we had NOLA, and then we had Memphis, and as we progress, we just continually reformat various versions, right? You have America's List, you have Mega Cash Days, Farm Truck and Asian came back with their own show. There's a new show with them again, Locals Only. I think the appetite for television shows changes as you go forward, right? Like every year, you can't remain stale. We don't. You know, we have No Prep Kings now, but that's really an opportunity for the fans to come out and see their drivers, shake their hands, do all that. You know, we were a bunch of dummies back in, you know, whenever that was when we did Bristol. We're like, I don't know if anyone's going to show up, but let's put on a race and see if anyone will. And everybody did. Like, so much so we had to close the gates with 12 miles worth of traffic, and we looked at each other going, people actually like us? I don't know, you know, or they hate us. Either one, they're coming to see us, and that's why we started No Prep Kings. And that's kind of the staple, and we're going to keep reformatting No Prep Kings. You know, we added the grade 8, we had Team Attack last year, and we're constantly evolving. So your questions are, will these come back? Potentially. You know, we only have so much bandwidth. There's only, you know, we take up all of Monday nights on 4 hours a night. It's 200 hours of programming a year. So we just have to pick and choose. You know, we do America's List once every 2 years, Mega Cash Days once every 2 years now. You know, I hope that explains it. It's just.
It's like
Oh, yeah.
the streetcar stuff first came out in '93.
Yeah.
We raced that for like 25 years.
Yeah.
And, it seemed like the bigger the more money killed it. Like we had cars like these guys had like the original street cars.
Yeah.
The first one they invited 12 cars from across the United States.
Yeah.
They paid us $40,000 up round trip back.
Yeah.
People lined up between four of us speaking about
Sure. And I think that's a good point you make. You know, we're trying to keep the sanctity of what we did, you know, what these guys stood for. These guys aren't, you know, big sponsor-backed, all that. I mean, some guys have sponsors to help them out. Obviously, it costs a lot of money to run this. Yeah, progressive, but at the same time, it's our duty as producers and, you know, purveyors of the brand to keep it in line. You know, people go like, why don't you let all these NHRA guys in here? It's not that they're NHRA. It's that, you know, the genesis of this is the majority of these guys, if not all of them, eventually commit to the street, right? That's what we do. If you're going to run No Prep Kings, you're going to have to go around the street at some point. That's what we say. And, you know, we also want to show commitment to the brand, right? We're not in the business of building somebody up for them to go take it away and go, oh, thank you very much. Now I'm moving on to whatever. It's just not what we do, you know? That's bad business, right? So.
I think MPK was good. Oh, I'll get a microphone out?
yeah, don't take it literally.
Yeah. Okay.
Trouble now.
Trouble now.
Jen's running on the pause button.
Take a deep breath, Doc.
So when we did Bristol, I've been to no prep racing since it first started in the South. I was at the very first one, and we did Bristol. The fan turnout was absolutely phenomenal. We sold Bristol out. We oversold 11, 12 miles of line of fans waiting to get in that could not get in because the fire marshal shut it down. It opened those guys' eyes to our fans and how important we are to our fans and our fans are to us. So that started an avenue that started No Prep Kings. And No Prep Kings is a TV show. There's a lot of money getting paid out for it, but make no mistake, No Prep Kings is our version or our way of giving back to the fans. We give y'all a way to interact with us. That is what No Prep Kings is about. When you go to No Prep Kings, nobody has to pay for a pit pass like you do other organizations. Everybody that comes in the gate, whether it's general admission or the highest VIP ticket that you can buy, has unlimited access to the pits the cars and the drivers as long as you want. Some drivers will stay out there till the last guy leaves the gate. Some don't. That's individualized, but all of them will take time to see you guys if you want to. That's Street Outlaws, producers and owners' way of giving back to the fans. So we get more fans by that. I've got fans that hated me, and then they meet me at No Prep Teams, and now I've got fans for life. They get to see the real person behind the TV, because all of us sometimes aren't really how they're portrayed on TV, and you don't know that until you meet us.
Robin Roberts.
Right?
I was going to use your name.
I wasn't
Did I say
gonna
that out loud? I'm sorry.
It used to be, hey, hang on. Thank you for taking that torch away from me. You're the most
Yeah,
I guess it's a good mantle to carry. I mean,
I called him the other day, didn't I? And I said, "Hey, are you going to change that car to the Joker? You're definitely the villain now."
yeah, I'm going to put them Joker smiles on it. But I hate
You
you.
definitely need to capture that.
It's the most adrenaline, passion, emotion-filled
Yes.
thing that I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
And the cameras are on all the time, and they catch you at your best, and they also catch you at your worst. And I guarantee you, if they catch you at your worst, it's going on TV.
Oh, yeah.
It's guaranteed. Drama sells.
Robin
I
Roberts.
think also you learn from
Drama sells.
that. People come up to me all the time. They're like, "Oh, I love the show, but I'm really not into the drama. What happened between you and that guy?"
Exactly.
Well, wait a minute.
Exactly.
Are you into the drama or not? Because you.
Everybody says they hate drama, but what do you do? What do most people do when they go to the work? After Tuesday morning at work, when everybody's around the coffee pot, they talk about the Street Outlaws show. What happened? They talk about the drama. Did you see what Robin said to whoever? Did you see what
John
said? You know,
Scott, did you have any drama this year? I don't even remember you in it.
I think I stayed pretty clear of the drama. I had a little bit with Robin, but just a little. It wasn't much.
It was only. I mean, I thought it was pretty mild.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Sean back there, he had some drama.
Was I
with
wrong? I also I want to answer.
Robin. Sean's not biting on that.
I think also what he talked about, and this is also I think true of all racing, right? Every form of racing began somewhere, NASCAR, whatever it was, and then it progressed to where it took money, teams, etc. Like it just always goes this way. There's no form of racing ever on the planet that didn't happen, and so rules or whatever became where there weren't any to begin with, and they kept shifting, and so it's just a natural thing. I hate to say it.
It's something about, somebody asked a question about why some of the TV shows aren't on anymore, because it is progression. It's all ratings driven. If the ratings start getting below a certain percent, you can't keep it on
Move
TV. So you have to interject new stuff, new rules, the grade 8, the whatever.
But you got to have new drivers too, right? You just made a comment. Do you want to see the same?
No, they
10?
want to see the same drivers. I don't care about the new ones.
Well, actually,
I like the way you think.
sorry, I have to be the guy to say that, right? But yeah, you got to look at their.
Who
point
let
and
you
their
up here,
point.
new guy?
Sam, this is Sam. Where's Sam?
But yeah, they like to see new people, but the new people have got to get it. They got to understand that they have to find a place to fit.
But I'm new, right?
Yeah.
But how I've always been respectful of you and your
100%,
staff and
yes.
405, and I get that. I feel like I do, and you were grateful, and even for you for a while, you didn't talk to me for a little bit.
No, you're the new guy. I mean,
You were the new guy, right?
You have to go through some hazing.
Yeah.
Well, wait till he's
am
made
I
it
the
a
only one to
season
talk to
before I talk to
You
him.
and Jeff Lutz are literally the only two people that talk to me, and Jim because he kind of had to. But it didn't take me very long, right? Yeah. As soon as I beat you like 3 or 4 times, I think you finally talked to me.
I got a pretty good internal
Jeez.
filter. I can see through a lot of BS, and I can kind of see a man for who he really is just by a few short talks. So. And that's just
Well, even on TV, and I talked to Sam about this. Like I'm a big emotional person, right? And that comes out on TV, and so
sometimes it comes out the wrong way, though.
Can be.
It does. So
yeah. But it's a TV show about racing, so it's a TV show first. So yeah.
There's some people that could have been the biggest a-holes in real life that come across TV as a saint.
Robin Roberts.
Or there could be some people that are the greatest, nicest.
I think his is opposite. But I think Robin is. He has
I
been
love
caught.
it.
He's been
Yeah.
caught in those perfect
Yeah.
moments that has made him
Yeah.
look bad at times.
Yeah,
But-
I know Robin
Out-
personally, and he's one of the most greatest individuals
Yeah,
you've ever met.
outside of actually racing, I really like Robin.
You just don't like me beating you, is what you really got.
You can't like the person you race against.
Nobody likes to lose. I don't care who it is. I mean, you're only friends, and we're not friends from the burnout to the turnout. I hate you.
Yeah.
After the turnout, we're okay again. So
I think that's a big misunderstanding of things like even the 405. Like here's one thing that's not maybe not portrayed well on TV. How much we appreciate you guys that have started this thing. That for me, like I street raced my whole life and no one knew about it. And it was dumb. It was in the middle of the country, and then all of a sudden you guys made it famous,
right,
and made it cool, and made it to where like
somebody. I mean,
love it. We
I've been
appreciate you
asked-
guys so much.
And I can say from original 405 guy, we all appreciate that. We don't get enough of that. And some of the new people that come in, not you, but some of the new people that
John
come
Odom.
in. No, not
No,
John.
but how many times have we had a conversation
No, I
of
said-
how grateful?
Yeah,
I mean,
I
me and
said
Hudson would go
Absolutely.
eat. We would come home. We would watch Street Outlaws on TV, and now to be a part of that is unreal.
Our
to me.
gratitude for you who started it.
If